Imagine waking up 100,000 years ago. There's no supermarket, no fridge, no takeaway, and definitely no Uber Eats. If you don't find food today, you don't eat. Every single meal has to be found, gathered, caught, or hunted. But here's the surprising part. The first humans weren't eating giant mammoths every day like the movies make you believe. So what was actually on the menu? Well, the day starts at sunrise. You're already hungry because your last meal might have been yesterday afternoon. There's no coffee waiting for you, no cereal, no toast, and no snack hidden in the cupboard. The only thing on your mind is finding enough food to survive another day. Most people imagine prehistoric humans spending every waking moment chasing giant animals with spears, but that's actually far from the truth. Hunting was dangerous, exhausting, and often ended in failure. Instead, much of the food came from gathering. Wild berries, edible roots, nuts, seeds, fruits, mushrooms, leaves, and even insects all played an important role in keeping people alive. If it provided energy and wasn't poisonous, it was worth eating. Children often helped collect food while the stronger adults searched further away for larger opportunities. Honey was one of the most valuable foods they could find. It was packed with sugar and calories, but collecting it meant climbing trees and dealing with angry bees. Imagine risking hundreds of bee stings just because you wanted something sweet. That's dedication. Now let's talk about meat. Meat wasn't an everyday meal, it was a bonus. A successful hunt could feed a group for days, but actually catching an animal wasn't easy. Early humans didn't have rifles or metal weapons. They used sharpened wooden spears, stone blades, teamwork, and patience. They tracked footprints, studied animal behavior, and waited for the perfect opportunity. A single hunt could last hours or even several days. Sometimes they'd finally get close enough to attack, only for the animal to escape at the last second. After all that effort, no dinner. That's why gathering plants was so important. It provided a reliable source of food when hunting failed. But when a hunt was successful, it changed everything. Every part of the animal was used, the meat was shared among the group. The fat was highly prized because it provided lots of energy. Bones were cracked open to reach the nutritious marrow inside. Skins became warm clothing and blankets. Tendons were turned into strong cord, and bones became tools and weapons. Nothing was wasted because wasting food could mean the difference between life and death. Then something incredible happened that changed human history forever. Fire. Fire wasn't just about staying warm. Cooking made meat softer, safer to eat, and easier to digest. Scientists believe cooking allowed humans to absorb more energy from their food, which may have helped support the development of our larger brains over many generations. Fire also kept dangerous animals away from camps, provided light after sunset, and gave families a place to gather together. Imagine sitting around a campfire after a long day, sharing food, telling stories, teaching children, and planning tomorrow's hunt. That simple campfire may have helped shape human society itself. Not every prehistoric human ate the same foods either. People living near rivers caught fish using wooden spears and simple traps. Coastal communities collected shellfish, crabs, and seaweed. Forest groups gathered berries, mushrooms, and nuts, while people living on open grasslands had more opportunities to hunt grazing animals. The environment decided what was on the menu. There wasn't one single caveman diet. There were hundreds of different diets depending on where people lived and what the seasons provided. Summer meant fresh fruit and berries were everywhere, while winter made survival much harder. Food became scarce, hunts became more important, and every meal mattered. Here's one of the biggest myths Hollywood gets wrong. Early humans weren't constantly hunting mammoths. Large animals were incredibly dangerous. One wrong move could leave you with a broken leg, and without modern medicine, that injury could easily become fatal. Most meals were probably much smaller and much less dramatic than the movies suggest. Survival came from being adaptable, working together, and making the most of whatever nature offered that day. So the next time you open your fridge and complain that there's nothing to eat, remember this. Your ancestors would have thought your kitchen looked like paradise. Thousands of years ago, every berry mattered. Every successful hunt was a celebration, and every single meal had to be earned. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, subscribe to Odd Theory, and in the next episode we'll explore another fascinating question. How did the very first humans build shelters before houses even existed?